Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're really digging into Dennis Verhage's unique learning model.
You're right. It's this fascinating blend. You've got AI principles, generation, reflection, curation, but also deep neurobiology.
And our sources pull together things like 3D visual thinking, computational ideas, and even critiques of, well, outdated systems.
The mission really is to unpack how this personalized approach functions almost like a living system, a self-evolving agent, you could say.
It seems to start with his core thinking style, something called prismatic cognition.
Exactly. Think holistic, recursive logic. It's
Yeah.
quite different from standard linear thinking.
Okay, before we dive fully into how he generates ideas, there's this term base 16 processing. What does that actually mean for someone thinking? Is it just faster?
It's more about dimensionality. Base 16 isn't just linear like base 10. It's naturally multidimensional. It looks at the whole picture,
Yeah.
all at once when generating an idea.
Ah, okay, so it's holistic.
Right. And you see this generative ability really clearly in his symbol mastery method.
That's the clay modeling for abstract words, right?
Yes, exactly. Using 3D clay to define concepts. And Carson's research actually backs this up as a valid technique.
That's fascinating. Using something so physical for abstract thought. How does that bridge to, like, computational learning, AI concepts?
Well, the recursiveness of it, building on itself, it mirrors advanced AI pretty closely.
How so?
This symbolic generation he does, it functions almost exactly like next token prediction in LLMs.
Okay, like how a language model predicts the next word.
Precisely. The system uses its entire current context, all the known data, to project the next logical step. For a learner, that's the I plus dollar idea. The brain is constantly projecting forward using a kind of mathematical projection.
Got it. So generation is building this complex recursive model. Then comes reflection and curation.
Right. And just like sophisticated AI agents, say Reasoning Bank, need constant updating and self-correction.
Verhage's system needs that too, to maintain what he calls internal coherence.
Exactly. It's about keeping the internal model consistent and stable. And this is where the neurobiology becomes really critical.
You mean how the brain itself supports this?
Yes. Internal coherence seems biologically tied to the supramammillary nucleus, the sum. It's pivotal.
Some. Okay, that's a technical one. For you listening, how should we picture the sum? Is it like the brain's conductor, keeping memory and emotion in sync?
That's a great analogy. It synchronizes inputs, manages flow. If that gets disrupted, say by conflicting social signals or incoherent information,
The whole system destabilizes.
that's the idea. That rhythmic flow needed for complex thought breaks down. And the sources mention the CBAS algorithm here.
Right, the tool for analyzing visual cortex activity.
Yes, CBAS shows how vital it is to integrate visual input smoothly and maintain that rhythmic synchronization for higher-level thinking. It's the biological basis for needing self-correction.
And this idea of internal stability, it even shows up elsewhere in biology.
Absolutely. Think about the regulatory T cells, the immune system's security guard, basically.
Ah, the Nobel Prize research from this year.
That's the one. It shows how fundamental protective self-regulation is to keeping a complex system, like the body, in harmony. It's a biological parallel.
Okay, so this drive for internal coherence and self-correction leads directly to curation, rejecting things that don't fit.
Precisely. His dynamic logic means he naturally pushes back against static, flawed systems, things imposed from the outside that don't make sense internally.
Like his critique of the body mass index, the BMI.
Yeah, that's a key example he cited. He argues it's discriminatory, outdated, and just static.
And it's not just about BMI itself, is it? It's about the structure of such systems. The sources say they lack the necessary negative or inverse.
Exactly right. They're often rigid, base-10 frameworks. They don't offer that logical complement, the opposite perspective needed for a feedback loop.
So without that inverse, that kind of logical mirror, his multi-base thinking can't synchronize. It can't curate properly.
That's the core of the argument. You need that inverse, that logical other side, a concept tracing back to Greek math, actually for complex cognition to really stabilize and refine itself.
So pulling this all together, his whole approach is this constant day-by-day cognitive renewal, like that Jemina concept, trusting the process.
Yeah, trusting the emerging self, as Carl Rogers might put it. It's an ongoing process, not a fixed state.
Okay, so here's a final thought then. If this kind of advanced reasoning, whether it's AI or a human mind like for Hages, relies on these dynamic, recursive, self-correcting systems,
Hmm.
what other seemingly chaotic systems in nature might actually be hiding similar underlying patterns, like, that discovery of a prime number pattern hiding inside fractal chaos?
That's a fascinating question. What hidden orders might exist in apparent chaos? Something for you to think about until our next deep dive.